Who truly walks with you on the path of life? As you embark on the journey of existence, you may find yourself at a crossroads, pondering the importance of both solitude and companionship. But here's the question that can shake the foundation of your understanding. Who is the right companion for this odyssey? Sometimes you see the burden of company can weigh heavier than the load you carry alone. On brief, fleeting voyages, solitude may be your ally, allowing you to move swiftly, unencumbered by the expectations of others. Yet, when the road stretches ahead, daunting and arduous, the call for companionship grows louder, tempting you to unite your steps with another's. But is every companion a blessing? Or can they sometimes become the very obstacle to your progress? There's a deeper truth hidden within this contemplation. The journey of life begins in solitude, and it ends in solitude. Alone we enter this world, and alone we depart. What lies in between is the delicate dance between being alone and being together, and it is here that many falter. We forget that learning the art of being alone is not a punishment, but a profound skill that leads to conscious evolution. Only in solitude can we begin the transformative journey inward, where we discover the vast, uncharted territory of the self. Solitude is not a mere act of isolation. It is a sacred communion with yourself. It's not about disconnecting from the world, but rather about plugging into a deeper dimension of who you are. In this quiet space, away from the noise and chaos of external influences, you begin to reflect, to see your true essence in the mirror of stillness. It is here, in the sanctuary of aloneness, that you unlock the wisdom and clarity to perceive life as it truly is. You might think that as humans, we thrive on action, on movement, on doing. But what if I told you that the most profound power comes from stillness, from the ability to simply be? Unlike other creatures who are driven by instinct, we are blessed with consciousness, the unique ability to act with purpose, to choose stillness when the world demands action. Yet, when people gather, the waters of stillness are often stirred by the currents of compulsive action. In groups, we lose ourselves to the flow of collective energy, sometimes to our detriment. Purpose-driven collectives can be powerful, but more often, crowds are swept away by the compulsion to act, to conform, to move without direction. And in that flood, individuality is lost. But here's the beauty. Whether we walk alone or in a crowd, each of us remains a distinct, unique masterpiece. Our lives, shaped by our beliefs, experiences, and aspirations, paint the canvas of our existence. And the colors we choose to paint with are brightest in moments of aloneness, where our inner worlds expand. So, the question remains, can you embrace solitude as the key to your self-discovery? Can you recognize that solitude is not isolation, but rather a tool for introspection, for conscious growth? Only then, when you have mastered the art of being alone, can you step into togetherness with clarity, knowing that your union with others does not dilute your individuality, but enhances the harmony of life. This journey is yours alone. But if you master it, you will find that aloneness leads not to loneliness, but to the profound freedom of conscious existence. Who are you without the masks? Discover the power of solitude. What do you see when the world quiets down, and you are left alone with your thoughts? Could it be that in the vast stillness, the whispers of your soul speak loudest? This silence, often feared, is not a place of isolation, but rather an intimate space where we begin to rediscover our truest purpose and direction. In the fast-paced hum of modern existence, we often lose sight of our real selves. But in the sanctuary of solitude, the external noise fades, and something profound begins to emerge. The quiet, patient voice of self-reflection. This reflection, like the planting of a seed, requires care, nurturing, patience, and above all, compassion. Imagine solitude as the fertile soil where the roots of your inner wisdom take hold. Through this process, something remarkable happens. You begin to cultivate a connection with your innermost being, slowly peeling away the layers of masks, roles, and pretenses we've worn for so long. This act of introspection isn't about running away from the world, but rather about undertaking a sacred pilgrimage to the core of your existence. It's about facing the complexities, the shadows, and the vulnerabilities that lie within without the armor of social roles or external validations. But what is revealed in this stillness? As the mind begins to quiet, clarity surfaces like stars reflected in a calm lake. Suddenly, the patterns that govern your behaviors become clear, the roots of your fears unearthed, and the aspirations that have quietly stirred your soul rise to the surface. Through this self-exploration, you understand that you are both the sculptor and the sculpture, simultaneously the master of your destiny and the very clay that is being shaped. Transformation, true transformation, arises not from external change, but from nurturing this internal garden, pulling out the weeds of self-doubt and allowing the blossoms of self-love and understanding to grow. Sadhguru often emphasizes the idea of becoming your best self through patience and compassion, as written in Life and Death in One Breath. It is here, in the depths of solitude, where personal growth finds its greatest symphony. Just as a butterfly emerges from its cocoon, so too do we shed the limitations of the past, stepping into new horizons of possibility. The irony of modern life is that the idea of solitude often evokes discomfort. We are constantly drawn to the allure of external stimulation, afraid to confront the enormity of our own thoughts. We seek solace in distractions, convinced that the external world holds the key to our happiness. But what if the key lies within? What if we could find deep solace within ourselves, embracing the present moment in all its richness? To be alone, truly alone, is an act of bravery. It demands that we confront our vulnerabilities, that we stand unadorned without the crutches of external validation. Here, in this state, we can embrace our strengths, dreams, and even our fears, seeing them clearly for the first time. This is not an escape from reality, but a return to the very core of our being, a sacred communion with the self. And in that sacred space, we realize that the journey is not just about understanding the world, but also about rediscovering who we are without the masks. What if the very things we consider flaws are actually the keys to our growth? Could it be that true wisdom and transformation don't come from hiding imperfections, but from embracing them fully? As we continue this journey of solitude and self-discovery, we begin to uncover a profound truth. Our growth lies in acknowledging our imperfections and understanding that we are works in progress, not static beings striving for some elusive idea of perfection. Carl Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." This speaks to the essence of what we're uncovering here. True transformation isn't about avoiding our shadows, insecurities, or fears. It's about confronting them with courage and awareness. As we peel back the layers of conditioning and expectations imposed on us by society, we don't just run away from the world. Instead, we embark on a sacred pilgrimage, diving into the very depths of our being. It's here, in this quiet sanctuary, that we encounter the shadows we've hidden for so long, the insecurities, doubts, and fears that have quietly dictated our actions. But as Rumi wisely said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." These wounds, these cracks in our armor, are not weaknesses. They are gateways to profound wisdom and strength. When we bring awareness to our inner landscape, something magical happens. The illusions that have kept us shackled lose their power. What once seemed like towering obstacles are revealed to be fleeting clouds, powerless in the face of our growing inner strength. Leonard Cohen captured this beautifully. There is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. It's through these cracks, these so-called imperfections, that our true potential is revealed. But the journey doesn't end with our individual transformation. As we cultivate this deeper connection with ourselves, we begin to understand something far more significant. Our personal growth is intricately connected to the growth of the collective. The ripple effects of our self-awareness extend far beyond our own lives. Each time we confront our shadows and transform them into light, we contribute to the collective consciousness of humanity. As we shed the illusions of external validation, we begin to engage with others from a place of authenticity. Relationships built on self-awareness are not just interactions, they are sacred bonds, rooted in honesty, empathy, and mutual respect. When we show up as our true selves, unafraid of our imperfections, we inspire others to do the same. This is the power of solitude. It is not a retreat from the world, but a return to our core essence. And in that return, we realize we hold the brush to paint the canvas of our destiny, not only shaping our own lives, but also contributing to the collective masterpiece of human evolution. Can solitude transform your relationships? How can being alone lead to deeper, more fulfilling relationships? It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? But here's the truth that's often overlooked. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand your own emotions, grows most profoundly in solitude. When you take the time to be with yourself, the noise of the external world fades, and suddenly, you're able to listen to the quiet wisdom of your own heart. Only then do you become equipped to extend empathy and compassion to others. It's in these moments of aloneness that you develop the courage to face your inner shadows, those insecurities and doubts that often cloud your connections with others. Vulnerability, once seen as a weakness, transforms into a source of strength, allowing you to build genuine relationships based on trust and honesty. This vulnerability creates a safe space where you and others can open up without fear of judgment. As we navigate this journey of self-discovery, we realize that the quality of our relationships is directly tied to the relationship we have with ourselves. When we learn to sit alone, we cultivate the discernment necessary to see which relationships nourish our souls and which ones drain our energy. It is no longer about filling a void with just any connection, but about forging bonds that uplift and align with our true values. Through solitude, we become more authentic in our interactions, understanding that love, whether for ourselves or others, starts from within. You see, relationships are not about finding someone to complete you. They're about celebrating two whole individuals coming together, each having walked their own journey. The beauty of this inner work lies in the fact that when we return to the world, we bring with us a heart full of self-love and self-compassion. Our interactions with others naturally become more meaningful because we are no longer seeking to fill a void or be validated by someone else. We show up in relationships as our truest selves, vulnerable yet strong, compassionate yet clear about our needs. Remember, it's in solitude that we gain the strength to navigate our connections with wisdom and clarity. We begin to understand that positive transformation in ourselves ripples out, creating waves of change in the collective consciousness. This journey is not about isolating ourselves from the world, but about equipping ourselves with the tools to engage in more profound, authentic, and loving relationships. So, if you ever feel lost in the whirlwind of expectations or drained by the energy of others, perhaps it's time to step back and embrace the power of being alone. Solitude is not a retreat. It's a sacred pause, a moment to rediscover who you truly are. And from that place of inner clarity, you can return to the world, not seeking love, but sharing it. Thank you all for being part of this beautiful journey. If this message resonated with you, please share it with someone who could benefit. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to continue exploring these deep insights together. Your support means the world to us, and it helps spread wisdom and positivity to more hearts. Wishing you all endless joy and fulfillment, may your journey of self-discovery lead to deeper, more authentic connections with both yourself and others.